Hello, Merry Christmas to you. Welcome to our Bible devotional. Since today is Christmas, we're going to take a break from our devotional through 2 Timothy, and I want to look at a phrase regarding the birth of Jesus that's found in Matthew chapter 1, verses 22 and 23. It's one you're very familiar with, and it says this: All this took place to fulfill what the Lord has spoken by the prophet. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which means God is with us. I want to look at those three words and the meaning behind them and what the impact on our life is in this short devotional. You see, God with us. That's a needed message, particularly at Christmas. I think sometimes we have this kind of nostalgic, naive view of Christmas that everything's going to be better. But the reality is that Christmas, being Christmas Day, does not put a halt to life's challenges. The world is still in crisis. Relationships are still in turmoil. There's still financial problems, job problems. There's still grief. There's still emotional pain. There's major health issues. There's spiritual issues. There's moral failures. There's addictions. There's other struggles. And all of this is too big for us. It's too much for us, or at least it would be, except for this one thing: Emmanuel. God is with us. Those three words, that truth changes everything. But how does it change everything? Well, I don't have time to go into great detail. Let me just briefly mention to you a couple ways that God with us changes everything. First of all, because God is with us, we can overcome any problem. We can overcome any problem because through Jesus, God is with us. If I face my problems alone, I have no hope. But as Paul said in Philippians 4, verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Now, let me give you a couple of examples. By myself, I can't lift a piano, but if the Olympic weightlifting team is with me, I can do that. By myself, I can't repair my car, but if a master mechanic is with me, I can do that. And the analogies could go on, but the idea is things we can't do on our own, we can do with a sufficient helper. Well, Jesus is more than sufficient, and he has told us, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. His very name, Emmanuel, means God with us. We can overcome any problem through Jesus because God is with us, Emmanuel. Secondly, we can endure any trial or any hardship through Jesus because God is with us. Now, I know as a human being, all of us desire not to endure trials. We want to escape trials. We want deliverance from our trials. We want protection from the pain and the hurt and the problems. That's human nature. But sometimes God takes us through the trials instead of delivering us out of the trials. But the way we can go through them is knowing that Jesus is with us. God is with us. Remember the encouraging words of Isaiah the prophet in chapter 43, verse 1. Here's what they say. But now, thus says the Lord, he who created you, O Jacob, he who formed you, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you go through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. And when you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you. Why? I will be with you. Emmanuel, God with us. We can overcome any problem because through Jesus, God is with us. We can endure any trial or hardship because through Jesus, God is with us. And we can be at peace in any situation because through Jesus, God is with us. We're not on our own. That's why King David said in the well-known Psalm 23, he said in Psalm 23, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. It also says in Psalm 16, in verse 8, it says this, I know the Lord is always with me. I will not be shaken, for he is right beside me. That's the key to peace in any situation. Emmanuel, God with us. We are never alone. In the deepest darkness, Jesus' light guides us. In our greatest despair, Jesus' promises encourages us. In our most grievous sorrow, Jesus' comfort sustains us. In major weaknesses, Jesus strengthens us with his strength. Well, even when we stumble in our faith, his faithfulness restores us. He is Emmanuel. He is God with us. We're never, ever alone. We're never forsaken. So I hope you will consider that this day, because not only are we told that at the beginning of Matthew, God with us, we're reminded of that at the end of Matthew, where Jesus said, behold, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Consider these things and have a Merry Christmas.